What is a solar storm? A solar storm is a phenomenon that occurs when the sun releases a large amount of energy, light, and charged particles into space. These events can affect Earth if their direction aligns with the planet's rotation. The three main components of a solar storm: solar flares, powerful energy explosions on the sun's surface, can disrupt radio communications on Earth. Coronal mass ejection, CME, massive bursts of plasma ejected from the sun's corona. If they reach Earth, they can cause strong auroras, GPS disruptions, and pose risks to satellites. Solar wind, a continuous stream of charged particles emitted from the sun, which intensifies during a solar storm, can trigger phenomena like auroras and disturb Earth's magnetic field. What happens during a solar storm? Auroras, aurora borealis/australis, become brighter and more widespread. GPS, telecommunications, and internet services may experience interference or slowdowns. Satellite and aviation communications can be disrupted. In extreme cases, very rare, power grids may be affected. When a solar storm hits Earth, the impact can be serious depending on the storm's intensity. Here are the main effects. 1. Impact on technology. Power grids, strong induced currents from the storm can overload electrical grids, potentially causing massive blackouts like the 1989 outage in Canada. Satellites can suffer malfunctions or damage, affecting GPS, telecoms, television, and internet services. Radio signals, high-frequency, HF, radio waves can be completely blocked, disrupting aviation and naval communications. 2. Impact on human health. Astronauts and equipment outside Earth's atmosphere may be exposed to high radiation levels. People on Earth are largely protected by the atmosphere and magnetic field, so direct health effects are minimal. 3. Intense auroral activity. Auroras become much more vivid and can be visible at lower latitudes. For example, they might be seen from Vietnam if the storm is strong enough. This happens when high-energy particles from the sun collide with Earth's magnetosphere and atmosphere. 4. Risks to aviation and navigation. Airplanes flying over polar regions may lose radio communication, so flights are often rerouted to avoid dangerous zones. If a supersolar storm equivalent to the Carrington Event of 1859 occurred today, the world could suffer trillions of dollars in damages and it could take months to restore global electrical infrastructure. How to prepare for and mitigate solar storms. While solar storms cannot be prevented, their damage can be reduced and impacts managed through proactive measures. 1. Early warning and forecasting. Monitor data from agencies like NASA, NOAA, ESA, etc., to detect unusual solar activity. Space observatories like SOHO and SDO can issue warnings hours or even days in advance. Governments and industries should have automated alert systems in place to respond quickly. 2. Protecting power grids and electrical systems. Shut down or isolate parts of the power grid when strong solar storm warnings are issued. Install geomagnetically induced current (GIC) protection devices to prevent overloads and equipment damage. Upgrade grid design and infrastructure to improve resilience against solar-induced disruptions. 3. Safeguarding satellites and space equipment. Switch satellites to safe mode during major solar storms. Enhance radiation shielding for sensitive electronic components. Adjust satellite orbits to reduce exposure to solar wind effects. 4. Aviation safety measures. Reroute flights to avoid polar regions during intense solar activity. Equip aircraft with backup communication systems, HF/VHF/UHF, for emergency use. 5. Securing communication and navigation systems. Develop alternative or backup navigation systems to reduce reliance on GPS. Create contingency plans for telecom outages to maintain communication during disruptions. 6. Public awareness and preparedness. Inform the public via media when there is a risk of a solar storm. Provide guidance on how to respond, such as stockpiling food, emergency lighting, and power banks in case of prolonged blackouts.